You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. When the Iron Lady sings that makes it official, welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate having you guys on. As always, the Chris Voss Show is the family that loves you, but doesn't judge you, at least not as harshly as your family. So go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss one, the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet. Today we have an amazing young lady on the show. We're going to be talking about her adventures and how you can have some adventures with your life as well. Get the hell out of the house for a change, will you? We have Karen Cleveland on the show with us today. She is the co-founder of Nunus Kenyan, let me recut that, Nunus Kenyan Safaris, which she has co-founded with her husband. She is a seasoned spiritual and mindfulness teacher, animal communicator, and safari experience guide. With over 30 years in corporate America, she now leads transformational safari adventures through her company, Nunus Kenyan Safaris, which are designed to reconnect people, particularly professionals, with their inner selves by offering a blend of spiritual enrichment, thrilling encounters with the animals, land, and people of Kenya. These life-changing journeys provide a perfect balance of adventure, mindfulness, and self-care, tailored to help participants reset, rejuvenate, and find lasting fulfillment. Her passion lies in these transformative experiences, making them accessible, reminding every woman she deserves time to nourish her soul. Welcome to the show, Karen. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm doing great. Yes.
Thank you. And it's wonderful to have you on the show. Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
Yeah, .com. So Nunus, which is Nunus, KenyanSafaris.com. And sometimes it's easier to find me at RevKarenCleveland.com, and that'll direct you over there as well.
So give us a 30,000 overview of your company and what you guys do there.
Yeah, my husband and I, we take people on safaris, or we set up safaris for people. I actually lead a few a year myself. I take group safaris, women, men that are usually older, travel by themselves. We get together as a group, 15 people or so, and we have these deep connections in Kenya with the animals, with the people, with the land. And it's something I've been doing for years. Our company is brand new, but I've been taking friends there for a number of years. So we finally made it official this year.
Yeah. What is it that draws you to that area?
It's a combination of a number of things. So I am an animal person. Mm-hmm. I love animals. And that was what first drew me. But in the back of my head, I also just wanted to touch the dirt. I wanted to touch the land of, our most distant forefathers. And now what draws me back time and time again is the people that I meet, and it's being just in the serenity, out in the huge, vast openness, wild animals all around you. You don't get that anywhere else.
Maybe New York.
Yeah, different kind of animal.
Different kind of jungle over there.
For sure.
York, that concrete jungle. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your upbringing. What kind of brought you to this end result in your journey so far of, what motivated you to be like, hey, I'm tired of everything. I'm going to Kenya.
Yeah. I'll try to keep it short. I grew up in a typical suburban white neighborhood and got into pharmacy all my life. Always wanted to get into travel though, but I just couldn't figure out how to make any money at it. Eventually, and also loving animals the whole time. So it was only about, 8-9 years ago, a friend said to me, hey, I'm going on safari. And I'm like, I want to go. And so 3 of us went on a private safari, and I thought it was going to be my bucket list, check the box, show people the pictures, and that would be that. But as it turns out, at the very end of the safari, I met the man who would become my husband. And it was most unexpected, but everything has changed since then. So
I would hope so, if he's your husband.
yeah. Yeah. So that's why I started taking people to Kenya, because I would go to visit. And it's like, hey, come with me. Let's go on safari. I'm going anyway. I know the deal now. I know how to do it. So it's just evolved, just completely out of the blue.
And so now you have different packages that people can take and get. There's signature safaris where you, I guess, kind of custom make things for people or make them kind of custom. Hosted group safaris. So maybe if a company wants to take the team out and build, what do they call that stuff?
Team building,
and all that stuff, or maybe
yoga retreats.
I usually do them to create fights so that they'll fight each other. We usually have we do our team building at a boxing match.
Oh yeah.
And that, or we actually we go to the Thunderdome and Burning Man, and we believe in the 2-man enter, 1-man rule. It's how we promote people at the Chris Voss Show.
I see. And you're still at the top, aren't you?
I use the Indiana Jones method. I just give up and shoot whoever's giving me problems. But don't do that, people. That's a joke. Don't write me. So you do the hosted group safaris that are good for building people, and not the Chris Voss sort of.
Not your way.
Not my team building thing.
Yeah.
Custom private safaris, so you can make something perfect for maybe an individual or a group. I can see a lot of corporations should really jump on this because, plus, if you don't like Bob, you can, and the lion, starts chasing, you can just trip Bob and, that'll fix the Bob situation.
Yeah, we try to discourage that, actually.
That's a bad thing? Oh.
Yeah. That is kind of a bad thing, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, you might get extra for some of those safaris. So you're doing, it looks like Safari Splendor, Born Free, checking out the Kenya lines. Tell us about some of these packages you have.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited for these. You know what I love the most? Not the most, but putting the packages together is like one of the most fun things that I do. Because, for example, Tembo tuskers, and Tembo is the Swahili name for elephant. So we're going to go stay at an elephant sanctuary for a couple of nights. We're going to have exclusive access to feeding time with those elephants at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. We are going to also do game drives to see other animals. We'll be at some of the big parks of Kenya. So we'll see all the animals, but we're going to have some exclusive elephant time for people that like elephants. And the Born Free Safari, you're probably not old enough, but some of us remember a movie called Born Free from many years ago. The lioness Elsa was from Kenya, and so we're going to explore the lions of Kenya on that safari. So even though we focus some of the safaris on something specific, actually the Great Wildebeest Migration, I think you'd like that, Chris, because that's the one.
Wildebeest before.
Yeah. This is the one where they come running down the hill across the river, and the crocodiles are waiting for them. The lions, the cheetahs are waiting for them, for the wildebeest and the zebras. So it's a scary time for them, and that's only once or twice a year.
I think I've seen that where they go through they cross over the river, and you'll see them like sometimes falling off of cliffs, and I guess they recover really well because like that one's not getting up after that fall, and they do, and I'm just like, wow, tougher than I am.
They do. They got the adrenaline going.
Yeah. And then, you'll see them drinking and there's stuff in the water. I mean, geez, I thought it was hard to go to my sink.
Yeah, you know what? If you go, take a life straw with you, so you always have able to drink. Yeah. Yeah.
I would. That would suck to be an animal and you're like, I got to drink out of that water, and there's like lions and tigers, bears and sharks in there and stuff, or alligators at the very least. But there might not be sharks, but it is Africa.
You never know what you're going to find.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's pretty scary time though for some of those animals. One not too long ago when I was on safari, I actually had a lion walking right towards. Now I was inside a vehicle, I was safe, but it was still really scary to have a lion looking you in the eye and walking straight towards you. And I thought, should we go now? Start it up. Let's go. Yeah. There was a couple of videos recently where you saw, the little charging from the elephant stuff, but everyone survived. But it was a great experience, I imagine, because you're like, hey, we had this lion,
come after us. So why Kenya? Is there other places you're going to cover, other countries, or is Kenya the main focus of what you're doing there?
There's a couple reasons why Kenya. One, and primarily right now, is because my husband's from Kenya, and that's what we know. Mm-hmm. So he was a guide at one point. So that's where we know. But I also chose Kenya the very first time I went because we can have a better connection with a better experience with the animals, because believe it or not, the animals remember, and there's no hunting in Kenya. So they are not inherently afraid of people. There are some poachers and stuff like that, but in general, they're not afraid of us. So they don't have to run from us when they see us. So I feel like we get a better experience doing that.
And your husband's from there. So does he speak the language then and kind of has a good working, that probably is a benefit, right? He has a good working knowledge of how the country works and all those ins and outs. Yeah.
He's only been in the U.S. like 5 or 6, 7 years. So he speaks the language. He knows the people, knows the places. He's definitely an asset to have when going to Kenya.
See, it was a good reason you married him. Now you can sell this stuff.
I know. That's right. Good thing I married him. Yeah.
So I see on the website there's some custom private safaris that people can engage in. 14-night grand safari, 10-night epic safari. Is there any way I can ride the elephants, or is that a bad thing? Yeah, that's not possible in Kenya. Maybe next door in Tanzania. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a good idea anyway. I mean, I suppose if they're tame, like in Indian places, they do that. But I don't think I should be riding wild elephants. That probably sounds like a Friday I had several years ago after a bottle of vodka and some pills. But we don't talk about that anymore. 7-night hidden gem safari, 5-night wilderness escape, night explorer's getaway. This night explorer's getaway is really cool. It looks like there's a picture of a bunch of maybe hotel rooms and some cute things, but they're lifted off the ground so that you can watch everything pass underneath and probably not come through your window. Yes. So below those, and I don't remember the picture exactly. I know where it is. There's a water hole, so you can sit in your room high above and just watch the animals come and go. We've seen leopards and elephants and all kinds of things come to the water hole. And so what do you think people come away with? I mean, you've been through this multiple times. So what is the feelings and emotions and experiences? What do you think it does? Does it open people's apertures a little bit? Does it help them reset, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah, all of the above. So there's something about being out there in the wilderness, and these animals, they have a choice on where they are. They're not caged. They can go anywhere, and they choose to be there or to stay there. And when you come eye to eye with them, it's like looking into the soul of the world almost sometimes. Wow. And I don't know anyone that hasn't had what they call an amazing or a magical or a transformative experience. And it's kind of funny because people come home from the trips, and some people can put it to words, but some people are just like, it was so amazing. I'm still processing it. I can't really explain it, but it was an amazing experience. And there was a guy on my last trip, and he said, so we stay in nice places. They aren't the highest luxury places, but they're nice places, and they all have swimming pools and bars and all that kind of stuff. And he started swimming every day, and he came home and he said, I can swim a mile, I think, 13 minutes faster. I have started writing again because I've been so inspired. I've been studying, some of the spiritual studies. It's everything coming together there, and you get to look at yourself and what's your priority in life. And you got these wild animals, and it's like they're saying, is that really important? Is it really important? Yeah. It really gives you perspective. I found that getting out of the office, getting away from stuff, taking some time off, especially if you can be reflective, because some people do like vacations where they do Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's a lot of busyness for a vacation, you know. You're not walking around Disneyland pondering, you know, what's my place in the world and what does it mean? Or you have people yelling and screaming, standing in line, you know, fighting over food, screaming about food.
Yeah.
You got the lines, you got the parking, you know, the whole thing's a production. And
Yep.
I always hated the fact that vacations were that way. I'm like, I just want a vacation where I just go sit on the beach somewhere, or, you know, this Kenya sounds wonderful. And you get away from it,
Yeah.
because that's really getting away from all the busyness and the noise and the craziness.
It is. And just for the record, they have tropical beaches there in Kenya too.
Oh, wow.
But I think one of the keys is that you can't sit on your cell phone all day. So even on some beaches, you sit there on your cell phone and you might as well be in your house.
Yeah.
You get rid of the cell phone and you're present with yourself and with, you know, everything else. And yeah, definitely reflective time.
Yeah. Do they have a lot of cell phone service there in Kenya, or is it kind of a place where you can get off grid if you want?
You can get off grid. They have kind of a different technology. They don't have like monthly plans like we do here, or maybe they have monthly plans, but it's different somehow. They call them bundles, and I don't know what that means.
Oh,
the phone works here and there. Mine does, but not everywhere. Certainly not out in the middle of Masai Mara or the Serengeti.
Yeah. It's probably good. Discourage, you know, that's one of the things we have. Everyone's looking at their phone and the beeps and the noises and the pings and the vibrations.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's constantly, you know, every 5 seconds, beep, you know, notification. And, you know, you kind of feel like you're on a hamster wheel, I think, with some of it after a while. You're like, you know, it's nice to kind of turn off the phone. And I think that really helps add to the perspective. Because if you take a vacation in a lot of places now, you're still going to have all the beeps and dings and all that stuff and the problems. And, of course, people are getting to you with all their fires and their, you know, you need to put this out. You know, at least you can go out and you're like, hey, I couldn't get your call because I was in Kenya.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have a job, I mean, you kind of really need that downtime, and it's hard to get it on just a regular vacation.
Yeah,
People
I mean, especially, you know, Disneyland, or, I mean, there's a lot of places you can go that are like, everyone's like, why does Chris hate Disneyland right now? But, you know, I mean, I love Disneyland, but it has its place. But, geez, it can really, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a vacation sometimes in some of those joints.
Yeah, it's definitely a vacation that you need a vacation from. I love Disneyland too, but you're right, it has its purpose.
Yeah, we're trying to keep Disneyland as an advertiser, I guess, at this point. What are some? Oh, you work with travel agents, I see here too on the website as I look at it.
I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. I mean, you don't have to go in details. Looks like there's some details on the site that people can check out.
Yeah. So if we have any travel advisors out there or people in the travel industry, we do offer, I just forgot the word, commissions. Yeah. So we do have a really good commission program. And even though we're a new company, I have been a travel advisor in the past. And I know that it's important to build trust and to, you know what you're getting into. So I have an opportunity for travel advisors or industry people to come on a trip at a discount, a very, very busy trip, to check it out and see what you want to promote.
What have we touched on or covered about the stuff you guys offer there?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What have we touched on or covered?
What haven't we touched on or covered?
What question haven't I asked?
I would like to say that we can create any kind of a trip for you, no matter what your budget is. So you can go, the main part of a safari, probably there's two main costs. One is the accommodations, and the other is the park fees. So the park fees are fixed. We can't do anything about that. And some of them go as high as $200 a day. So they're not necessarily inexpensive, but the accommodations, you know, you can do a basic tent without electricity, water, anything like that for a fairly cheap safari vacation. The ones we do are mid-level to low luxury, and they're like luxury tents with bathrooms and electricity, or cabins or cottages. And like I said, they all have swimming pools and restaurants and bars and that kind of thing. So it's the accommodations that really determines how much your safari is going to cost. And we can work with you. It really helps to work with a person, whether it's me or someone else, to get what you want.
Mm-hmm. It helps to have that. It helps to have that. What's the word I'm looking for? It helps to have that. Being able to have something customized, where whatever your spend is, and all that good stuff. And I'd say it's probably a great thing for groups, corporations, teams, team building. I mean,
Yeah.
I just want a free trip to Kenya at this point from the company, so that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, you want me to talk to someone?
Wait, is it me? But I need someone else to pay for it, not me. That's what we're working on. So, so anything more you want to tease out as we go out?
Let's see. I would like to encourage anyone that travels alone and would like to join a group to look at my signature safaris. They're all set up for next year, and those are really, I don't know if fun is the right word, but they're meaningful. They're definitely, amazing and magical, and people have a very good time. So I am happy to talk to anyone about safari 24 hours a day.
You love safaris, evidently, I can tell.
I do.
So thank you very much for coming on the show. Give people the final pitch out and your .coms.
All right. Yes, we would love to see you on safari in Kenya and help you get there. My name is Karen Cleveland, Nunus Kenyan Safaris, Nunus, KenyanSafaris.com or RevKarenCleveland.com.
There you go. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Karen. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss One, the TikTokity, all those crazy places on the internet. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.